And you mentioned that your brand, you've gone from gender neutral to gender fluid.
Yes.
Now treat me as a completely blank slate.
Yes.
Who knows nothing. So what's the difference?
I think it's also a journey for me as a brand as well. When I started my brand, my business, I actually, the initial term I used was always like genderless or unisex, because that was a widely used term in public. You say those things, people like, in fact, genderless was also something very tricky as well. People didn't understand what that term meant as well when I started, and I remember always having to correct myself and say, unisex, but when I started to use the word unisex, I felt like it also kind of like boxed me into a certain kind of category as well, that it's more a very neutral kind of category, that it's just a term that's used to represent, any clothes that could fit both men and women, like maybe a very boxy kind of silhouette and things like that. But how it gradually went from like genderless to unisex to then being gender neutral and now finally gender fluid was the word fluid. I thought was important to be incorporated was because I felt that it embodied a lot of that freedom, a freedom to be who you want to be, how you identify, and how you want to show up in this world authentically, and I felt that was important for my brand, because that is the core of my brand.
And is it similar to the journey that you've had?
Yeah, I think my brand is actually, I've always say it's a personification of who I am.
Yeah.
My journey, from being, very sort of self-conscious, to trying to like suppress part of myself, to suddenly coming to a point in my life where like, you know what, I don't have to hide myself, just to feel like I can fit in or I feel safe. I should be able to show up unapologetically myself and feel powerful in that and feel that I'm worthy and of a place in this world.